Now available in paperback and ebook, The Man Who Rules the World. John Haynes must bring together men and gods to overcome a threat that seeks to destroy the planet. The Man Who Rules the World. Now available in paperback and e-readers everywhere. I was watching a video by YouTuber Alternative Factuals where he was talking about how the world is not ready for powerful black comic book characters. And from my experience, I'm going to have to disagree with him because from what I have seen from my experiences, the world is ready for powerful black comic book characters, and it's all about the marketplace giving the readers access to those characters. Because from my personal experience running the SJS Direct imprint, people are eager to pick up books in the Isis series, which is about a descendant of the Egyptian gods, the Easteme series about another descendant of the Egyptian gods and a former she-demon, and the John Haynes series, which is about a powerful black CEO who takes on the supernatural forces of darkness. And from what I've seen from my friend Chris L. Brown's Omega Black, a manga which revolves around extremely powerful black characters who rule the planet Omega and are a part of the Omega stream, there are people who are eager to go out here and read stories featuring powerful black characters. And we could see that even with Static Shock back from 2000 to 2004, people made that show the #1 show on television, which showed me that yes, great storytelling featuring great black characters is something that people want, and people don't mind seeing powerful black comic book characters. But many of these comic book companies, like your Marvel Comics and your DC Comics, don't want to give us powerful black comic book characters because powerful black comic book characters run completely against the narrative that they want to promote in their books. And that narrative they want to promote in most of their books is white supremacy. Now, many of these comic book companies, they will talk about how they're all about diversity and how they're all about inclusion. However, the entire foundation of the comic book industry was always based on white supremacy. And the whole idea of the superhero and the Superman was about creating this image of this super white man who had all of this power to be the most powerful man, not only on the earth, but also the most powerful white man in the universe. And these publishing companies, they make most of their money selling the image of powerful white men to white men and women. And the whole idea of a powerful black man runs counter to that narrative. And they don't want to run against that narrative because they're all about elevating the image and power of the white man and the white woman. And they don't want people going out here and seeing the image of a powerful black man, because the idea of a powerful black man, this is something that has scared many white racists out here ever since the days of slavery. They've always feared the idea of a black man taking power and then using that power to, as he empowers himself, to enslave other whites. That is the great fear some of the white racists have. And in the comic book industry, there is a great fear of presenting the image of a powerful black man and a powerful black woman, because many people who read comic books, they're not just reading them for an escape, they're also reading them because they become inspired by these characters. And this is one of the reasons why many comic book companies oftentimes try to find ways to minimize the power of the black man and the power of the black woman in their publications, because they don't want people to get inspired to start thinking about concepts
like black empowerment. And if they start thinking about black empowerment, they may start thinking about doing things like starting their own black-owned businesses, like comic book publishing companies, creating their own characters, and telling their own stories. So many of the comic book publishers, they don't like the idea of presenting you with powerful black characters because powerful black characters run against their bottom line. They have no problem giving you characters like a Luke Cage or a Cyborg who have some power, but the whole idea of a black character having power on the level of their top tier heroes or being extremely powerful like a Monica Rambeau or a Blue Marvel, they don't want to push those kinds of characters because the whole idea of these characters, it shows a black person with power and more power than the white heroes. That's why they have such a hard time with this Blue Marvel character, because this Blue Marvel character, one, was created by a black man, and two, this Blue Marvel character was presenting you the idea of a black man who had more power than the white characters. And while they talked about all this racism going on regarding this character, the big problem with the Blue Marvel character was his perception of self as I saw it. And that's what I also explored with my own ISIS character, was the psychology of the racism and how it limits you from actualizing your potential and taking your power. And this is something I'm exploring in the latest 2 or 3 ISIS series stories. I'm talking about the ISIS character finally coming to the conclusion that she has to face her human fears regarding racism and her human fears regarding the trauma she experienced when the Ku Klux Klan lynched her husband and murdered her son. And she has to finally start confronting the fear she has of taking her power. And that's not a story that some place like Marvel or DC or any comic book company is going to explore, because that kind of story about taking power and empowering yourself is something that most comic book companies, they don't want to talk about, because that kind of power, again, runs counter to their narratives, and it runs counter to their platform. I mean, their platform is about showing you these super-powered, primarily white and non-black people, and they're not about showing you an image of a black man or a black woman taking power and using their power to empower themselves and build their own community. Because the whole thing is with most of the black characters in most modern comic books is they are pieces in the white man's world, and they are usually just there to either show how inclusive they are or to go out here and target primarily black audiences. They're not really there because they see themselves as valuable. They are valuable to that universe as related to the white characters, but they're not seen as having value in and of themselves. Now, something created by a black creator like myself and many others, that character is going to see their value as a black man or a black woman, and they're going to be focused on empowering the people in their communities and building and protecting their communities. They're going to put black first, and that's something, again, your mainstream publishers are not ready for. This perception of a black man or a black woman seeing value in blackness, seeing value in self, seeing worth in self, and seeing their world as important, and seeing value in their world, that they are going to go out here and protect their world. They're not on this whole rainbow integrationist concept. When you have a black creator, they focus on presenting an image of power that is about putting the black man and the black woman first and elevating the black man and the black woman. That's what I see from many of the black science fiction, black manga, and black fantasy out here. And from what I've seen in events that I've gone to, like the Schomburg's Black Comic Book Festival, the world is ready for powerful black characters. And from what I've seen regarding my releases of books in the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, and especially the John Haynes series, the world is ready for powerful black comic book characters. And it only takes black creators going out here and taking their work and sharing it in the marketplace, and we can see more powerful black characters. It's about us taking the power ourselves and sharing our characters in the marketplace, and it is about us having a perception of self that we see value in ourselves, and we go out here and present our characters. It's about us taking power, and that's the most important thing out here. Is if you want to see more powerful black comic characters, you can't go to a mainstream publisher like a Marvel or a DC. No, you have to head over to independent black comic creators and black fantasy creators like myself, because we're the only ones who are going to go out here and create those powerful characters, because in our mindset, the black character is first, the black character is powerful, and the power we're taking is about our perception of self and the way we see ourselves first, and that's how we show how powerful we really are. So we're not looking to be number 2 in somebody else's universe. We are looking to be number 1 in somebody's universe, because we understand that if you don't see yourself as number 1 in your world, people will not see you as valuable. So oftentimes when it comes down to these powerful black characters at Marvel and DC, that they're not going to make those characters more powerful than a Superman, a Spider-Man, a Captain America, a Hulk, because those are the bread and butter characters that make Marvel Comics money. They don't make their money on elevating black characters, and that's why those characters, no matter how powerful they are, like a Monica Rambeau or a Blue Marvel, they will never get any sort of serious push, because they're not seen as the money makers, nor are they seen as the ones they want to promote as the face of the company. Whereas a black character like a John Haynes, as part of SJS Direct, or ISIS, who is part of the SJS Direct universe, these are characters created by a black creator. They are put to the forefront because I see them as number 1, and I have no problem elevating a character like a John Haynes and showing the power of that character, because when I show you a black man as a CEO, I understand there's some power with that image, and people want to see that image of a strong, masculine black man running a multinational corporation. They want to see a black woman as a goddess. They want to see black women taking that kind of power. And these are the type of images and stories people want, but the mainstream doesn't want to give us those images, because if you have the black man and the black woman going out here and buying black stories that feature powerful black men and black women from a black-owned publisher, then that white-owned company cannot make any black dollars at our expense. They don't mind giving you a movie like a Black Panther where the black man is second in his own movie, because they know that many are spellbound by the idea of getting this validation and approval from these white business owners. Nor do they have a problem giving you a character like a Safe Space, because that character fits into their smooth world. Whereas when you go out here and you look at many of these independent books by many of these black independent creators, you will see the world creating powerful black characters, and they're out here, like me, creating gods. They're creating incredibly powerful beings and creating beings that will go out here and have power on the level of a Superman and actually taking things to another level because, again, the world is, as I see it, is ready. I mean, we saw how ready it was with Static Shock back in 2001 to 2004. People were ready for a black hero, but the whole thing is the mainstream companies just don't want to give us that character because they want our eyeballs focused on their white characters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and they don't want us looking at a black man or a black woman and seeing an image of strength and power. So we have to go out here and make those images, and we have to go out here and put those images in the marketplace because if the companies don't want to give us those images, then we have to go out here and make those images ourselves, and we have to elevate those characters to another level because if they don't want to give us powerful black characters, then we have to empower ourselves and give ourselves those powerful black characters and give our kids a perception of blackness that shows us the value in being black. If you'd like to pick up some of my positive black fiction, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find all of those books in paperback and Kindle formats on Amazon.com. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available, paperback and Kindle Unlimited, ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in a squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.